Say yes to TES, say yes to TES, say yes to TES, say yes. Say yes to TES, say yes to TES, say yes to TES, say yes. When you're feeling blue, don't know what to do, got nowhere to turn, and the rent is due, say yes. Yes to TES. When you're feeling great, got yourself a date, luck is running high, no use tempting fate, say yes. Yes to TES. Short, sweet, to the point with the moxitude to rock the joint, say yes. Yes to TES. Say yes. Yes to TES. I'm a sassy dame with a snappy name, got a heart of gold and a high octane loaded with finesse, honey. Stop the press, I'm the one to see when you need just TES. Get it? Say yes. Yes to TES. Say yes. Yes to TES. Say yes to TES. Say yes to TES. Say yes to TES. Say yes. Say yes to TES. Say yes to TES. Say yes to TES. Say yes. That's TES. Just TES. TES. Period. Louder, please. I cannot hear you. Yes. Yes to TES. Say yes. Yes to TES. When you spell success, spell it TES. I sing the ear-catching numbers that'll lift your spirits. Who told you so? Say yes to TES. Say yes to TES. Say yes to TES. Say yes. Say yes to TES. Say yes to TES. Say yes to TES. Say yes. Say yes. Greetings, divine mirrors. Sacred awakening, remembering gods and goddesses, one and all. Thank you for showing up. Today's theme is no theme. Like the Seinfeld show, we're simply going to be present to the present and be with the miracle of our own existence and the existence of all that is. Because my role as an awakener in this divine play, this Leela, is to be one who has remembered and then hold the torch up for you to remember too, so we can see the illusion, laugh at the joke, clear the confusion. Time we awoke. So that's why we're here. We're going to awaken together. We're going to reach that critical mass, and all the drama of the divine play is going to evaporate right before our eyes, because we have lost sight of the truth of who we really are. Like an actor who has taken their role too seriously, we have gotten caught up in the drama and the circumstances to a point where we allow it to make us sick, even to take us out or want to be taken out. And in my spiritual reality check, the fact of our existence is so astonishing that we're not seeing the forest for the trees. It's like we've gotten caught in this so-called mundane reality, and we have gotten disconnected. We have lost sight of the sacred phenomenon that the privilege of existence actually is. So it is my joy and my pleasure to spend these 2 hours with you once a week. My new pilot project, Voices of the Global Awakening, Tuesdays with TES, and which I intend to continue offering for the foreseeable future, whether it remain on this platform or switch to another. This is the one where I have the most connections, so it seemed most logical to start here. And my intention is to share with you whatever is at the cutting edge of my consciousness, bring on guests whose perspectives I admire and that I would love to hear from, and I'm imagining that you would too, and yourselves. This is an interactive platform, and I believe that we are all the beloved in disguise. The God Goddess arises in endless disguises, and that we were created as these unique characters with our own singular perspectives on things, that when we share them with one another, we can open up the way we think about things, we can open up our hearts, we can see things from another perspective, and potentially save ourselves a lot of time and a lot of heartache banging around with our myopic way of looking at things. So that is my goal and my intention. And I see this as a quasi talk music variety show. I am flying by the seat of my pants here with very little technical know-how. And so I am foregoing the bells and whistles until such time other people whose area of genius that is choose to come along and invest their creativity into this community service endeavor, and then we can bring you musical arrangements, just so I'm not singing a cappella all the time, although that's so easy for me. So I'm happy with that, and so just I'm hoping that my heart and my enthusiasm will magnetize you and will ignite your enthusiasm, and we can grow this thing together, and just joyfully witness the lifting of the veil for everyone. I use a lot of acting and theater metaphor in my expression, because that is my background, and it seems to apply so much. And really, with all the profoundly dramatic things that are going on in the world right now, that are serious cause for depression and dismay and existential crisis, it really helps to be able to step back and see see ourselves as characters, and see the circumstances that we are immersed in as very creative, elaborate storylines. And if we're having a hard time, to basically step back a little bit, just like an actor would, a healthy actor would step back from the role that they're playing a little bit, and remember, do a little reality check that, who I really am is this divine soul, and I am not these circumstances. And maybe we need to shift genres, because like if we're taking ourselves or it too seriously, maybe we need to look through the eyes of, like, whoa, this is actually a dark comedy that I have been cast in. And as an actor, it is most juicy to sink our teeth into roles that are complex, even diabolical, like Silence of the Lambs, and his name is escaping me right now, but you know who I'm talking about, Anthony Hopkins. And so it's like to have a role where we get to be diabolical, or confronting darkness, and being the hero in our role. I mean, those things are pretty exciting. And so if we can just sort of shift a little bit to not take all the drama and pain that we're seeing so seriously. Now I'm speaking from, I'm the daughter, my backstory of my character. I'm the daughter of two Holocaust survivors. It was a pretty dramatic entry point. I came in during the Vietnam War and Kent State, and the assassination of Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy Jr. And, the macabre has continued throughout my life, and certainly with the most recent tragic events in Maui, and the threat that mask mandates are coming back by mid-September, and another strain of COVID, and all these various things that are being forewarned out there, and so it's like, how do I navigate? How, not Junior? That was not Junior. Okay, no, Junior. Yeah, you're right. Junior supposedly was killed in a plane crash, right? And even that is in question. So anyway, the point is that there is a lot to navigate in this dimension, and if we forget that we signed on in order to be the light, then we can get immersed in the darkness. We can get swallowed up by it and sink into deep despair and really question what the point of this whole experience is. And yet, if we can step back from it a little and do this spiritual reality check and get back in touch with the miracle that we are, the grace that this gift actually is, like how privileged we are to get to be here, then it's like we can re-energize ourselves, and we can reclaim our fortitude, and we can show up, and we can share our gifts, and we can bring the light, and we can be the source of that for others until they can become the source of it themselves. So I'm going to ask the benevolent creator who animates me and sustains me to allow me, the ego personality, to get out of my way so that I am simply a clear vessel, conduit for the greatest transformation we can have during our time here together. And so I'm just grateful to be present with you in the sacredness of the present moment, because we get so caught up in time and accomplishment that we forget to be witness to the awe of the wonder of the majesty of creation of which we're a part. So let's just take a moment to drop in and breathe. And get into sacred presence with one another. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. You are another myself. And so, even though I can't actually see you, I know you. I know that you are sacred. I know that you are holy. I know that you are precious. I know that you are divine. I know that you are worthy of all this magical field of pure potential and possibility has to offer. And I know that you deserve to understand how to flow your energy in order to create the type of feeling experience that you want to have, that you know in your heart of hearts is possible. We have been conditioned and indoctrinated into believing that life is hard. We have been conditioned and indoctrinated into believing that we may be unworthy, that there are haves and that there are have-nots, or that we are unlucky, or that we are cursed in some way. If you allow yourself to step out of the matrix, the wheel, being the hamster in the wheel, staying so busy that we cannot feel our connection to Source. And so we are unbalanced. And so we feel unstable, and we feel insecure, and consequently unworthy if we look out, and especially with social media, and there's so much to look at, and some of it is true and some of it is manipulated to cause us to feel jealous and envious, like other people have things that are not accessible to us. If we can reel ourselves back in and just reconnect with awe and wonder to the sacred blessing our sheer existence is, regardless of what our circumstances are. If we can get reconnected to the miracle of our own existence, and it might require noticing the miracle of your pet and the miracle of their existence and how perfect they are. Like, they're so unique and so original, and their personalities are so specific. And there's something about them that it is delightful. And if you can see that in them, then you can see it in yourself. You just haven't been in the habit of giving yourself that blessing, that you are sacred and that you are unique and one of a kind and very, very special. So I invite you to give that to yourself. I invite you to marvel at your own uniqueness and preciousness, and that the benevolent Creator who conceived you and breathed life into you is an artist beyond our comprehension and created you with a specificity of detail that is unlike any other. And if you were not to be here, there would be a missing in this world. We are all parts of a grand mosaic. And even though we can't see how all the pieces fit together, as long as there is breath in our bodies, our character is needed here and wanted here and potentially beyond, depending what legacy we leave behind. So if you're not already on a path of positive self-talk, of tuning into yourself and starting to notice the tapes that are running in your head, and if they are negative, and if they are self-defeating or abusive in any way, to begin to catch yourself and redirect and talk yourself into the most honoring, the most sacred, the most uplifting, the most encouraging You need to be your own divine, idealized parent and cheerleader. And you need to see yourself the way you have always wanted to be seen, even if you have nearly given up hope that anyone else will ever see you that way. This entire thing is a feedback loop, and what we experience is a reflection of our own energetic output. So the more we can slow down and tune in and pay attention to how we're talking to ourselves, the more we can begin to heal the hurt that is in our hearts and our traumatized psyches. And as we heal, we will start to see a shift in our experience. There's so much talk about self-love. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. We have to start with loving, honoring, and cherishing ourselves before we can receive that back from anyone else. And before we are in surplus with our cup running over, for us to be able to share our love and our light and our joy with others. So I'm here walking with you, walking beside you, doing my work, and sharing with you about it, and making myself available to share with you on a more intimate basis. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, please reach out to me with a direct message, and we can have a conversation and discuss what that could look like. And I promised in my promos for this today that I would be announcing another offering. And so, drum roll, I'm going to do it a couple of times during our share here today. Starting tomorrow evening, I am launching a bi-monthly Zoom that will be a virtual community sharing circle called WE, a Wednesday evening wisdom exchange that will be held on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month. The second will be a women's empowerment gathering, so another WE, for feminine identified persons of any gender. And the fourth will be open to everyone, which is how our first circle will begin tomorrow evening. So if you are interested in participating tomorrow evening, I'm gonna post a link in the comments here, or some instructions, I should say, in the comments here. And if you would send me a love offering, the suggested amount is $33. However, no one will be turned away, so if you are inspired to offer more, I will graciously receive. If you need to offer less, I will graciously receive. So if you send me a direct message, or actually if you make a payment on one of the platforms that I have just posted about, and you put WE in the comments with your email address, and you can also reach out to me direct message. So one way or the other, I will send you the private Zoom link for tomorrow evening, and you can do that up until 2 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow to join us. It will happen at the same time as Tuesdays with Tess, from 5 to 7 p.m. So we will be starting with the open to everyone Wednesday evening wisdom exchange. And that will be in a kind of a community roundtable group mind. So the reason I'm doing it on Zoom is theoretically we should be able to keep all of our microphones open. And in the style of the Quaker tradition, we will sit in the silence together. And when one of us is moved to speak, we will listen, and then we will return to the silence. And if anyone has anything to say in response to what was just spoken, they will refer to what was just spoken without attaching it to the name of the personality that was the vessel that spoke those words. And the other piece that I thought might be interesting to see if we could integrate into that is I have been enjoying very much I mentioned a few times that I am in a 9-month training called Express right now, which is successfully pushing all of us participants past our comfort zones to be in our full expression in the world. And one of the things that the participants have decided amongst us is, although we're meeting once a week with our leader, Isabella Braveheart, that on a different day during the week, we're taking the same time slot and taking 2 hours to sort of be in a work study focused time together. Because some of us have challenges with discipline and willpower and have all kinds of distractions in our lives, and left to our own devices don't necessarily get our work accomplished. We kind of put that as last on our list while we're tending to all sorts of other things. But if you have a dedicated time and you have people that you're accountable to that are all focused at the same time, it's really amazing how productive it could be. And in our case, we actually put the call on mute except for checking in or if we have a question, and are really working on our own projects. And I get so much more done with them than I do when I'm just on my own time. So I would like to offer this in a bigger way. And I thought that while we are in this hive mind moment together for those 2 hours, while we are tuning into source, opening to divine guidance and wisdom, the field could be a very fertile place for us to forward our own projects. It might be a distraction, I'm not sure, but everything is an experiment. And so one of my things is giving up needing to be all perfect and polished before I start throwing things out into the world. And so I'm actually having fun experimenting. Like, this is an experiment. I'm still calling it a pilot project because I feel it's a work in progress. And there's a lot more that can happen to make it a slick presentation. And I am absolutely welcoming feedback. So if you have any thoughts on what can improve this offering, or if you come to the Wednesday evening Wisdom Exchange, I would welcome your feedback there as well. So it's more important to show up than it is to wait and wait and wait and wait, because none of us know how long we're here. We really don't. There's people like me that believe that if we are in gratitude, like genuine gratitude for the blessing and miracle of our existence, that we can improve our health and therefore prolong our lives and potentially stay here as long as we want. Because the point, my mother used to say, if a person can't amuse themselves, they will hang themselves. And it's true. I've experienced, if I don't have a clear purpose, if I don't have like a clear knowing of what I'm doing and what my contribution is, and I start imploding with frustration, feeling like I have so much to share and an unclarity of where to put it, I get pretty frustrated and pretty depressed. And so it's like, if you have a glimmer of an idea of something to do, then go ahead and put it out there, and you can. It's not to be self-effacing or give a disclaimer, but to unapologetically say this is a work in progress, and it feels like it is actually more healing and enrolling to be willing to show up and be imperfect and fumble than to like present ourselves as all like perfectly coiffed and scripted and memorized and having it all together. And that's why, like, over the last 3 weeks prior to today, I was actually choosing a theme. It was coming to me a few days before, and I would add it to the promo material. And today I decided, you know what, let me just be true to the present moment and challenge myself in that way and see whether I can sustain this for 2 hours with, no clear theme in mind whatsoever other than to be present to the present and to keep bringing us back to the miracle of the mystery and learning to trust it, learning to dance with it, learning to surrender to it. Because if our benevolent creator who created the seas and the skies and the seasons and the vegetation, and I just knocked my water bottle down, hold on a second, could cause the sun to rise and set and the tide to come in and out, then it knows what is in our divine interest. It knows what is needed for us to be sustained. And it is our resistance to trusting that causes us to suffer. But if we can decide to stop being suspicious of life and stop being cynical and heal that hurt in our hearts and start to be profoundly grateful no matter what our circumstances, it is still fascinating and fantastic to get to witness this divine play and get to participate in it. Even when the circumstances are horrendous, it is still fascinating. And there's still a quality of sacredness to it if we can really tune into that. And so I contend that if we can tune into that and we can step back into genuine gratitude for the miracle of our own character and our own existence and every single breath that we get to breathe, we can learn to form a relationship with this intelligence and begin to trust it. And as we begin to trust it and allow it and stop feeling like we have to figure everything out and pre-plan everything and work by the sweat of our brow, we can really start to experience more and more and more and more grace. Take a breath with me. I'm actually working on a song right now. It's not finished yet, but it goes, the beginning is grace, 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 grace. Every thought, every sound is grace, 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 grace. Grace, 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 grace. Every footstep on the ground is grace, 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 grace. Grace, 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 grace. So that's the beginning. Let's see, let me look. Who would like to come on and chat with me? As I said earlier, we all have a piece of the puzzle. We are all the beloved in disguise. The beloved arises in endless disguises. And when two or more are gathered, there is infinite possibility access that is way beyond my single perspective. So, Bella Grace, would you like to come on and chat with me? I'm going to invite you. Come on, Bella Grace. I want to see your divine face, Bella Grace. Did you get my invitation? Adding, it's adding. Say yes to Tess, say yes to Tess, say yes to Tess, say yes, Bella Grace. Come on, girl. I want to chat with you. Declined. Oh, boo. Oh, boo. Don't be shy. You were given a face to be seen and a voice to be heard. And this is about as safe a container as you will ever find. There is only love and acceptance here because I know who you really are, whether you fully remember or not. I know you are the divine one in disguise. So I welcome you, whether it's now or another time. Yes, we all have a piece of the puzzle and infinite possibilities. Come on here and talk with me, sister. I want to see you. It's been too long. It would be wonderful to have you on. Say yes to Bella. Is that a polite no thank you? Yes, yeah, thanks, love. Okay, if not you, I've got at least 2 other people I'm aware of on here who would like to come and chat with me. If you're not going to chat with me, I'm going to offer you another song. How about Pass It On? What's the matter, honey? You don't want to have it all? What's the matter, honey? You don't get to have a ball. What's the matter, honey? Can't you stand to have your way? Everyone but you deserves to love and play today. Oh, what's the matter, honey? You don't like to share your things? What's the matter, honey? Can't you see what freedom brings? What's the matter, honey? Don't you see how great this is? Everything that's mine is yours and theirs and hers and his. God is here, never gone. Love is all, pass it on. God is here, never gone. Love is all, pass it on. Oh, don't resist me, honey. I'm a gift from God to you. Don't resist me, honey. I was sent to waken you. Don't resist me, honey. I'm the answer to your prayers. I have come to lead you home beyond your old nightmares. God is here, never gone. Love is all, pass it on. God is here, never gone. Love is all, pass it on. You gotta let me in now. If you wanna win, just look on past the skin and see. I'm the one you'd call for. I'm the one you'd fall for. Let me set your spirit free. Cross the door to ecstasy. God is here, never gone. Love is all, pass it on. God is here, never gone. Love is all, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. You gotta pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. It's so cool with the arrangement. In the description, I included a link to my Spotify where you can listen and share my musical ministry. I have got 25 recorded songs up there. I've written over 100. I'm looking forward to recording more. And the arrangements are fabulous. And I'm also available to come to your spiritual center and do a keynote concert, or to your corporate event or a house concert. So, you know, I'm available. I got nothing in the way. For whatever reason, Source has not delivered to me my next incarnation of my divine temple, the Universal Temple of Expanding Consciousness, which I recently changed the name of from Universal Temple of Higher Consciousness. And it's been,
almost 3 years, I think, since I have had a home. Fortunately, I have had a lot of grace, and I have been welcome in some wonderful friends' homes. And I have been with my most recent hostess since December, and I really, really appreciate her, and I appreciate getting to be here. And it's really interesting because I have the contents of a four-bedroom home along with a lot of family heirlooms, and my vision is to reestablish the Universal Temple of Expanding Consciousness as a vegan music and retreat a sanctuary, and host a lot of events there and concerts. Ideally, I will be living with other like-minded vegan musicians, people who are tantric minded, meaning they live in a profound sense of awareness of the blessing of the present moment, and are led by inspiration versus agenda, and are very, very open-minded. And so that is my plan and my intention, to be able to do recording there and host events and host vegan lifestyle retreats. And for whatever reason, I'm in a state of suspended animation as I am waiting for that manifestation to drop in. And so perhaps the time is more for me to be open to traveling to your area, maybe putting some sort of a cohesive itinerary together, and going out on the road and sharing my light and my love. And I'm open. I'm open to doing that if that's what's supposed to happen. Because, you know, again, given our programming, we all come in here with ideas about, um, who we want to be and what we want to do, and we're given a lot of gifts, and some of us, learn early how to use our gifts and how to bring them out into the world, and others of us have a more circuitous journey, and maybe even a more challenging time even figuring what that is out. And so there can be a certain inertia and existential depression and confusion as we're trying to figure out our purpose. And so it's easy to sort of get lost and get caught in a lot of things that aren't necessarily serving and are not necessarily holding ourselves in the most sacred way. And just to remember that we are sacred beings and that we have been created with great specificity, it seems really worthwhile to me to drop into the silence, to drop into a place of humbleness and humility, and surrender over to this benevolent force and say, okay, you created me, and I am here in service to whatever you believe I'm in service to, beyond my capacity to see or understand. So I'm just gonna like clear out everything from my life that may be in the way, that may be holding me back, and simply allow myself to be a servant of your mission and your intention for my incarnation. So if I'm supposed to manifest a home soon, I will. If I'm not, I won't. And in either case, I still feel incredibly blessed and grateful. It's like, they tell this story about before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. And I believe the only difference is the level of sacred awareness that we have, and how grateful and blessed we feel to get to be doing it. Because before awakening, before enlightenment, there may be a sense of drudgery and frustration at the so-called mundane aspects of living and existing. But when we realize what sacred vessels we are, what miraculous holy vessels we are, then anything and everything we can do with a sense of profound gratitude and joy and delight. There's a wonderful song that's just coming to my mind. I got to learn I was at a Unity church. I was invited to sing at a Unity church in Miami once, and this was a song that they did in this congregation a lot, and it went, "You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. You're a blessing, I'm a blessing, we're a blessing to the world. It may take a while to convince ourselves. If we didn't have good programming, and so the self-fulfilling negative talk drew to us circumstances, potentially repeatedly, that affirmed our unworthiness, our incapability, our unluckiness. And I know this one. And I have immense compassion for you if that's where you are, in the not knowing your own worthiness. But it is inconceivable that an intelligence that could create this entire dimension filled with so much beauty, and if we slow ourselves down enough to perceive it, truly only pure grace. It is inconceivable that that intelligence would have selected you to be left out of that grace. So you have it, you just may not wholly trust it or believe it. And so I am being willing to be a stand and a space holder for you to begin to believe it and to support you in reinforcing that in yourself until you can do it for yourself. And my desire is to have other guests on here with me who also have this awareness and can help to reinforce it. Or if you have a challenge and you wish some one-on-one support, you can come on here with me and we can work through it together. And you can also reach out to me privately and we can set up some time to see if we can support you in shifting into a more self-loving, self-honoring, self-celebratory mindset. Let's just be with each other for a little while. There's so much going on in this world. And we get to choose what channel we want to tune into. What is the mind and soul food we want to feed ourselves? In this world of illusion, the Course in Miracles says that only the good is real. Spiritual teacher Abraham Hicks says, good feels good and bad feels bad. And the analogy that they use is if you are driving down the freeway and, if you like start to fall asleep, you start to drive on the reflectors in the road, and then the tires go boom, 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 like this in order to wake you up. But that feeling of the tires going over the reflectors is not a good feeling. There's interference, there's obstacle, there's static. It's a bumpy path. And as soon as we realize we can get back in a lane and we can be back in the smooth. And the same thing is true of our spiritual journey. They say, we don't know how you all got this backwards, where you have decided that if it feels bad, it must be good for you. And if it feels good, it must be bad for you. And we're here to tell you that good feels good and bad feels bad. So even though your programming may tell you that there's evil out there and you need to protect yourself and you need to be on guard, if you are in a perpetual state of protecting yourself and on guard, then your Eden-like countenance, your vibrational field is compromised. And if your vibrational field is compromised, if you're contracted, then you're going to not attract, and you're going to block the goodness that is inherent to you and would naturally be yours. So the trick here is like the biblical quote, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, is to find a way to redirect yourself in the face of evil, in the face of darkness, in the face of terror, in the face of calamity and catastrophe and despair, to redirect yourself, not in a way that people describe as spiritual bypassing. It's not about pretending. It's about assessing the data and determining what the most divine truth is. You're looking for the most divine truth. And I would say the most divine truth is that we are spiritual vessels incarnated in this physical form in order to get to have an experience. And if we can maintain our connection to that original intention, then we can walk through the dramas that we encounter with a sense of awe, a sense of wonder, a sense of compassion, a sense of gratitude. There but by the grace of God go I. And a faith, an unshakable faith that no matter what it is, that we're going to get through it, and we're going to get to the other side, and we're going to grow, and we're going to expand, and our experience is going to put us in a better position of being able to contribute to others who may be going through something similarly and need a calm, reassuring presence and voice. And so it becomes less about our personalities and less about our ego-driven agendas and more about being a sacred witness to the unfolding of this astonishing play before us. Anyone feel like coming on? So Bella, I don't know if you were here when I was announcing that I am launching another offering tomorrow evening. It's going to be on Zoom. I'm going to put the information again into the thread here. If it's called the Wednesday Evening Wisdom Exchange, and tomorrow is open to everyone, and um, it'll be the second and fourth Wednesday of the month. Tomorrow is the fourth Wednesday, so we're starting with everyone. And on the second Tuesday of the month, it will be another it will be a women's empowerment Wednesday evening wisdom exchange. And that will be for feminine identified people of all genders. And I am asking for a love offering of that. I've included my payment platforms in the post that I just put up. And if you send me a donation, $33 is the suggestion. More is welcome, less is also welcome, depending on your capacity to contribute. And then I will send you the private link. Just put WE in your payment information, and I will send you the Zoom link for tomorrow evening, which will be happening at the same time as this, from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific time. And what that will be is a kind of like a village roundtable a wisdom council community sharing circle. And we will have all the microphones open. And as in the Quaker tradition of sitting in circle together, tapping into group mind, we will simply make ourselves empty vessels and sit in the silence, awaiting wisdom to come through one of us, and it will not matter which vessel it is coming through. And if anyone wishes to comment or add to that expression, they can do so without referring to the character, the person, the personality that is coming through. And they can say, it was said, and refer to it without referring to that person. And we can see what happens when we sit in divine presence together and just hold a space and all have equal access to a microphone to be able to share and without ego and all benefit from the evolution of consciousness together. I'm also experimenting with allowing that time, since the field will be open, to have people be silently working on whatever projects, because just like when you go to a coffee house and there are people who are sitting there and they're working on their laptops who would rather be working in an environment where there are other people as opposed to sitting alone in their home, there's something about being in a space where everyone is focused together that is incredibly stimulating to inspiration, creativity, productivity. That is my experience. I am actively involved in such a container right now, and which is in a private training that I'm doing, and so I want to be able to make that accessible to people if they would like to join me in that space. So I have here a name of someone, Okili Nigebuka. Gabari. I'm not certain if I am pronouncing it right. Forgive me if I am not. I'm delighted that you are joining us, and if you would like to come on camera and chat with me, I would be happy to welcome you. At the bottom of your, assuming that you are on a phone, at the bottom second from the left is a little figure of a person that if you click on that, you would be able to request to come on to the call. See, there's a new comment here. Juliana Roby is here. I didn't see her. And Charlotte LeFranc. See if there's anyone else that I've missed. Well, I want to make a request. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. My preference would be that you request to come on. So I got to go back to see what that name was that I just said. No. Nagari or something like that. And then Charlotte and Juliana. Hi, Juliana. Would you like to come on and speak with me? I would love to have you on camera with me and chat about the infinite whatever it is. Juliana, beautiful Juliana, please bring your divine goddess essence into the field. Anthony, you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another time. Okay, Juliana. Well, Anthony, I know that you and I talked about you coming on here. Are you ready to join me on camera? I would love to share your wisdom. I had this man was on my call last week and contributed so much. And we ended up having a conversation, a video chat conversation on Messenger, and I just loved chatting with him. And he had some beautiful stories to tell that I requested that he share with you all. So I'm going to, okay, can you do it or do you need me to do it? Do you need me to initiate it? I'll go ahead. Okay, invite, add. Drum roll.
Well, there we are. Hello there.
Well, hello there. How are you?
I'm great. How about yourself? Happy
Good.
Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you too.
So when I say happy Tuesday to you, I could say happy Tuesday, but happy Tuesday, I always say happy Tuesday. Choose today something different that you chose yesterday or last week, but choose something different.
I thought you were using the Puerto Rican accent and you just say happy Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
You're such a New Yorker.
I am a New Yorker.
So, how are you today?
Well, you know, it's like they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I am being tempered. What are you doing? What are you looking at?
Sorry, I was looking for a light switch. I'm not at home.
Oh. Yeah, so it's been interesting. There has been a lot of people very close to me departing. Ah, there you go. A dear sister of mine made her transition on Saturday. We'd been speaking all week, and she made her transition on Saturday. I learned about it Sunday morning, and just today I learned about another dear friend who transitioned. So in the last two weeks, I have lost count of how many people that I know that have departed. So it's rather surreal, and is putting me in this sort of very humble place as it relates to the mystery.
Right.
And also, and this is where for me it's like, you know, transmute and how do we use this is like the level of awareness of the sacredness of every moment and every breath and the preciousness of it. I feel deeply connected to that.
Yeah.
I feel,
well,
yeah.
Well, you know, we're going into the full moon tomorrow,
Okay.
and the moon is going into Pisces. So Pisces is about water. It's about emotion. The moon is about emotion. Emocean. So
Mm.
and then we're going to be going into fall. That's the time of the harvest. So the spring cycle is coming to an end. So there's a lot of endings right now. But
Mm.
there's a pot at the end of a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or a pot of whatever. I was in Florence, Arizona last night, watching a thunderstorm for 3 or 4 hours, thunder and lightning, no rain, just thunder and lightning. And I was looking at the rainbow that was running up alongside of that, and I thought, something's coming.
Oh,
Something's
nice.
beautiful. But for us to make room for something to come in, we have to purge something else. And unfortunately, their friends and loved ones and those who have been with us for a long time, and we have to say goodbye. But we're not saying goodbye. We're wishing them well in the direction of the north, because the direction of the north is earth, winter, rest, right? And it's the place of the ancestors, the wise ones, the wisdom, the wisdom keepers. So we know where to find them.
Yeah, we know
you know
where to find them. Yes,
Now,
for
saying
sure.
that doesn't make it easier on your heart. It doesn't make it easier on your heart at all. But the good news is the good news is they're well in good standing wherever they are. They don't have to pay taxes. They don't have to punch a
Yeah,
clock. They don't
right?
have to do anything. They live as free souls right now.
Yes, yes,
So it's a
yes.
beautiful
Or deal
journey.
deal with
Like I
their
said,
bodies, their challenging bodies.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Hmm, hmm.
my mom's 86. Your mom's your mom, and they're still here, and others that way younger. My father has been gone 32 years.
No,
You
my
know,
mom is gone.
oh, is she?
In fact, yesterday my mother transitioned 3 years ago, July 29th, and
Okay.
yesterday she would have been 101. Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm,
That's
hmm, hmm,
powerful, though. That's powerful.
hmm,
Yeah.
hmm. Yeah, you should go to my page. I put up a beautiful picture of her
I
yesterday. She's
I
a
I saw
magical.
that, and you
Yeah.
did tell me that she had transitioned. It's been a week,
It's okay.
and
It's okay.
and done the work and driving from Mexico. So to and from Mexico.
Oh,
So it's
where are
been.
you now?
I'm back in Sedona.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
How
Yep.
long have you lived there?
I have been here 4 years next month permanently, back and forth from Los Angeles and traveling since 2017. So, I was told I was going to be on the road for a long time, that I didn't need a home, and I didn't have a home. And when I finally came to Sedona, for the first time in my life, I had my own home. I have my own home, my own space, workspace, studio, gallery, whatever you want to call it. I have my own space, and I don't have to share it with anybody. Although I can, I'm not supposed to. They told me no. The
I
guide
hear
said
you.
no.
I hear you. I
And
hear you.
yeah,
I don't know if you were on here a few minutes ago. I was saying that it's been like my intention is to create a new temple space that is a community household. But it's been 3 years that I've been looking and it hasn't been showing up. And so, like, the message that I'm getting is that I'm supposed to be available and on the road, and yeah. So
yeah.
I'm giving myself over to that if that's what it's supposed to be. It's okay. It's okay either
On
way.
the road is where I meet most of my tribe. In fact, I'll be at the gathering, Star Knowledge Peace Conference in Peebles, Ohio, at the Serpent Mound, for that gathering, for the fall equinox, and that's going to be a great event. Such great healers and native peoples of all kind, cultures of from the four corners of the world, from the four corners of the medicine wheel, and it's going to be a powerful time in Peebles, Ohio, at the Serpent Mound. I can't wait to be there.
That sounds amazing. The
Yeah.
Star Knowledge Peace Conference.
Uh-huh.
Very,
Uh-huh.
very
And
cool.
it's usually our main speaker is Chief Golden Light Eagle, and he transitioned 2 years ago. But on November 11th, Star Knowledge Peace Conference will be meeting in South Dakota for that portal, and we're going to be honoring him there. So yeah, I'm excited to be there and see all the brothers and sisters, the grandmothers and grandfathers, and the chiefs and the wives and everybody that's involved, because it's a special time, and it's fellowship like I've never experienced in my life. I have friends. Whew, I'm getting emotional, right? There's a Pisces. I'm a Pisces. I have friends for life. Every time I meet somebody in those groups, and it's powerful, and I'm grateful for it, because there's people that I met when I came to Sedona who call me friend and never call me, never say, hey, let's have coffee, or they're never available. So I'm like, so I stop reaching out, and I take off and I go drive across country, and I meet wonderful people that say, stay at my house, stay at my house. Will you do an event? Will you do this? And it's a beautiful time. It's a
That's
beautiful,
gorgeous.
beautiful time. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
you told me some amazing stories the other day. Do you remember? Wait, I said, remember to tell those stories again. You didn't? Ah, one of us should have written it down. We
right.
should have written it down.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's that. Oh yeah, that's right. We were on Messenger. Well,
Yeah.
we were talking about, I don't know if we were talking about the drum or the heart, the medicine that I work, and I think anybody who is a divine feminine and divine masculine needs to hear the way I talk, because the reason that I'm a drum maker and I'm the curandero that I am is because of people like you and your divine feminine listeners, because that's the portal that I came through. The first sound I heard in utero was the drum, right? My mother is my original drum. She's my 86-year-old drum. And I honor that space that I lived in for 9 months, 9 being the number of spiritual completion that got pushed out into the light through the portal, through the canal, through the channel. And when she birthed me, like a lot of our mothers, those who are able to, she put me to her mammary to feed from that heart space, heart, lungs, air, I love, I'm loved. Heart, lungs, air, I love, I'm loved. I have to say that. And I feed from that place of the heart. And I feed from the memory, mammary. And I believe it's really important to say that to men and women about memory, because they're spelled
Mm,
differently, but they're the same. We're talking about the same space, the same heart cavity, where the lungs reside, where the heart reside, where the four chambers of the heart, right? Just like the pineal gland, just like the medicine wheel, there are 4 chambers, four lobes. It's 4 limbs. It's important. It's really important. So my medicine is to honor the divine feminine. Now, I will never know what it's like to have a child, ever. But I want to honor it, because when I birth drums, and I don't make drums, I birth them. We create a womb. We create the sacred water with all the plant medicines, local plant medicines in Sedona, and the tobaccos that are sent to me from the 4 corners of the world.
wow.
And dirt from Sanctuario Chimayo, from that little chapel in New Mexico, it goes into that water. And cacao from South America, Central America, goes into that water. So it's just not a drum. We're just not making drums. We are making birthing medicine, like I was birthed, like I was pushed out.
Mm,
And even when we start weaving the drum together, when it comes out of the womb at the sunrise the next day after it goes in at the sunset into the water, when I pull the ties out of the water, which I call the umbilical cord, I cut a penis into the tie after I create the holes in the hide. And the penis goes from underneath the hide out to the outside, just like birthing a baby. We go
wow. Wow.
we,
Wow.
we go
Wow.
we go down with our penis into the yoni of the divine feminine, and something happens. Something beautiful happens. Now, I put those hides in the water at sunset the night before. Why? Because direction of the west is direction of the woman. It's direction of the ocean. It's direction of darkness, depth. the sacrum. It's the direction of emotion, EMOCEAN, right? It's a
I love
direction of
that.
it's a direction of fall, letting go of the leaves, letting go. Women let go every 28 days. Fall is symbolic of the direction of the west. So when grandfather's son sets in the west, he's chasing his beloved. He's chasing his beloved grandmother Moon, and she's running from him. She's playing coy and hard to get, and he's chasing her. And in the darkness of the water, the depths of the water, the depths of EMOCEA, and we are birthed from our parents usually at night. And when the new day begins and grandfather son rises, that's the result of procreation, creation, co-creation of those two elements, sun and moon, divine feminine,
Gorgeous.
divine masculine. Right?
I love
And
your consciousness. Yes.
right, and I hold up the drum, and the drum resembles the moon, and then I turn it over to the ties, and it resembles the sun. A whole So duality in what I do is the utmost important. Will I ever understand women totally? I would never even have that thought, but I want to honor what I do know in the way of making drums and birthing the drums, not making drums. You can make drums anywhere, but the medicine that goes into the water, the creating of the sacred water, sitting with wearing the hide of the animal before it goes into the water around your body, and taking the ties. We use two ties that are cut in a circular fashion. I have people put those over their breasts because it's from that place we're going to eat. We're gonna hear that sound, boom, 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 boom. And then they go into the water once they've connected with the animal, whether it's deer, cow, steer, elk, buffalo, bear, horse, moose, whichever it is, right? And then we hold the frame, the tree. I call it the tree. The grandmother is the frame. And I have some people are small enough to wear the frame over their bodies, and I have them hold it and write their intentions on it, so where people can't see it on the outside of the frame, where it's covered with the hide. And intention is created as we sit with that, and I sing songs. I sing the medicine songs that have been given to me by spirit, by the ancient ones, and it's a full ceremony full of intentions,
Wow.
and attention. Not just intention, but the attention to the intention of nurturing the nature of who and what you are, and who and what I am, who and what my mother was, my grandmother, my sisters, my cousins, my nieces, all the divine feminine. Now, men have a part in this too, but we're just seed. We are just seed, right? We are not the container that the divine feminine is. And men don't talk like me. And
No, they don't.
I
No,
used
they
to
don't.
I used to ask myself, why me? And then my answer was, why not you? Why not me? Right?
Amen. Amen.
Because I was part of the problem. See, I get emotional. That's a Pisces. I'm a Pisces triple Cancer. I was part of the problem for a lifetime. Now I get to be part of the solution.
Mm.
And solution is usually made from water. That just came to me yesterday.
Emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Solution,
as
emotion.
a vegan, I have to ask you a question. Understanding the sacredness of your intention and how you work and all the ceremony. So these animals whose hides you're using, are they taken down for this purpose, or are they taken down? Where
They
are these skins coming
they
from?
they come from food source, and the hides are just and the leathers are just byproduct of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that you asked that, because no, it's not funny, but vegans have asked me about that. They say, I want a drum, but I'm a vegan. I said, well, you have a cat that you hold hostage. So right, and that cat eats meat. Sorry, it's not sorry, but the animal, for all intents and purposes, is dead. Oh, right? The tree, the frame, for all intents and purposes, is dead. But in my hands, with my heart and with my ceremony and my intentions, those two become one, and they breathe independently of each other. And what happens is they together create a vibration of life. They create the sound of the heart. And as far as I'm concerned, they're no longer dead. They have just transitioned into a higher vibration. And it's full vibration because that hide is still breathing and that tree is still breathing. And I have to keep humidifiers in my home because of the dry air here. So they breathe and the air goes out of the moisture goes out of the air and they get really tight. And if I don't take care of them, if I don't give them water care, they'll dry, they'll break, they'll become useless. They're not useless. They're divine. They're divine medicine. And I don't kill anything. I won't kill anything. I'm a pacifist. I don't own a gun. I own a knife when I'm out on the land, and just in case something happens with an animal, I get attacked. But that's about it. I won't carry a firearm. You can't get me to fight.
I'm a lover,
No,
not a
I'm
fighter.
a lover. That's what I was gonna. Can you share this when you said? I'm
What,
just kidding. I said,
what?
can you share that? He's a lover, not a fighter.
Well, this will be recorded on replay and on YouTube, so you'll be able to share it. You'll be able to take that clip.
Nadine said her cat is a vegan, but naturally in the wild, animals are not vegans. Bears might be, but they also eat fish and whatever they can. They eat the stomachs
Yeah.
of other creatures.
Yeah, left to themselves. And Nadine, I was taking care. My dog is vegan, and I was taking care of a friend's cat for a while, and I came upon this amazing canned food that was for dogs and cats, and it was vegan, and they both loved it. But it's true, left to themselves, it's not like where their consciousness has any sort of moralistic judgment about what they take down and eat. The
It's
cat loved to bring me birds and lizards, much to my dismay.
it's survival. They survive by their instinct, and when they live with us, they have to put up with what we want for them, and that's not fair to the animal. I have a woman who said she was an activist for animals, but she owns horses and a pig. Excuse me? You own horses and a pig, and you're an activist for animal? Liar, liar, pants on fire.
It's interesting that you say that, because like this dog that I have, I adore him. I
Right.
didn't want him. The caregivers that I had for my mother were lobbying really hard for me to get a dog as a companion for her, and I was like, no, 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 no. I don't want one more thing to take care of,
Exactly.
and I don't want one more thing to lose, because I've lost plenty of dogs, and so they started sending me pictures of dogs that were being fostered, and everyone was no until this one, because he had my hair and he looked like me.
I look like you.
And you look like me too. And so I got him, and he became my mother's emotional support dog. Your hair looks great. Emotional support dog, and then she passed, and so now he's been my emotional support for sure. And so now I'm very grateful to have him. But honestly, as a vegan, I have had that thought. It's like, I don't want to hold any animal hostage. Of course, now that he's domesticated, I can't not continue to hold him hostage for
Right.
his life,
He's a constant, caring for him is a constant reminder of how you cared for your mother. And they say that dog backwards is God, if you believe
This is true.
such things. But who am I to argue with that kind of logic?
Right.
Right?
Right.
The materials I use, and a lot of the indigenous here in the Sedona area, the Yavasupai, the Apache, the Hopi, the Navajo, they honor the way that I do things. And I grew up in the city. My grandmother's people were Purepeche, and my grandfathers on my mother's side were Tarumara, and on my father's side were Chichimeca. So, and I've never known my people. But when I use these materials, in fact, today was trash day. My trash can didn't go out because my trash can was empty. When I make drums, the smallest scraps, if they're not usable, they go into a bin. And when I hold ceremony, that's what those things are what I use to create the sacred fire for the ceremony. And then the ashes go back into the earth. Whether it's leather, whether it's paper, whether it's hide, whether it's wood, if it's not usable to make something, it goes right back into the earth and nourishes the earth around my home.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
the plants that grow that the animals eat.
The main thing is that your consciousness is reverent and sacred, and so I sense that about you. It's like
Yeah.
whatever you're doing it with sacred intent, and that makes all the difference in the world. It's like, you know, whether it's prayer smoke or whatever, or any kind of plant medicines, if people are just using things recreationally versus using them with sacred intent, it's like the outcome is diametrically opposed to one another, you know.
Right.
So
I mean,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
people who are using sacred medicines just to get high and they call it ceremony. No, because what's happening is one is leading to the other, to the other, to the other, and they're getting into pharmaceuticals through the back door or through the idea of a ceremony. No, that is not ceremony. And we had that problem at the Gathering of Healers in Albuquerque last month, where young people showed up and they were all high. We asked them to leave. This was a sacred event. If you don't know how to be
Mm-hmm.
sacred, hit the road, Jack, and come back when you're available to yourself.
Right,
Not to us,
right,
available
right.
to yourself. I've been sober 31 years. Spirits in, spirit out. I removed the spirits
Mm.
and spirit return. Now, there's a young lady on watching named Cecilia Reyes. The day that my last day drunk, I was at her mother's house, she's my cousin, and it was halftime at the Super Bowl, and I was already smoking pot and eating carne asada and drinking Tecate beer. And when they were passing around the hat to go to the store, I threw in a $5. I said, bring me a 6-pack of Diet Coke. Now, I was at a meeting that morning, but it was Super Bowl Sunday and I got loaded. But when they came back with that Diet Coke, I have never had anything in my system since that. And that's been 31 years.
God bless you. That's great. And Nadine is saying 23 years
Well,
sober. I just want to
right,
acknowledge,
Nadine.
yeah, I want to acknowledge, Charlotte, thank you for your condolences. And I want to ask you, Anthony, two things. Is one, I want you to put your any, you know, website, whatever you want to put into the chat. So if people want to learn more about you and see what you're up to and contact you, they can do that. Also, I watched a video. Was it on your page? I think it was on your page or on your site. I don't remember. And there
Yeah.
was a wonderful song that you did. And could we do that song? Could you do that?
I'm not sure what song it was, but because we just finished talking about women and the divine feminine or water, we're in the time of the full moon, we're in the time of Pisces. I'm going to sing Hey, Hey, Shayanaya.
Okay.
Um, I'm just going to say Al Green and the Talking Heads don't have anything on me in spirit. The song's called "Take Me to the River," and it sounds nothing like those. So I'm going to sing. I don't have a drummer rattle with me, but my voice is my medicine, and it carries. Hey, hey, Shayanaya, hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, Shayanaya, hey, 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 hey. Oh, Shenna, Senna, Hona, Eoana, hey, hey. Shenna, 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 hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, Shayanaya, hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, Shayanaya, hey, 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 hey. Oh, Shenna, Senna, Hona, Iona, hey, hey. Shenna, 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 hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, Shania. Hey, hey, Shania. Hey, hey, Shania. Hey, hey, Shania. Hey, 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 hey. Take me to the water, hey, 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 hey. Take me to the water, hey, 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 hey. Wash me in the sacred water, hey, 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 hey. Wash me, wash me, wash me, wash me, wash me, wash me, hey, hey. Hey, 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 Shayana. Hey, 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 hey. Oshinakate, Hoshenaka. Oshinikiteko, Hoyinakate, Ho, Sheka. Oof. Oof. It's really rare when a song gets downloaded to me at the same time in both languages, whatever language the other is. Navajo grandmother said, "What I speak, what I sing in is spirit language."
Mhm.
Other people probably call it other things, but when the songs started coming, what started happening was I was able to put them together phonetically, so the words would come, and the words just started to flow. In fact, I was doing a live on Facebook when I sang that song one day, and I was at the Verde River, and I put my phone on a tripod and facing the river. The river was flowing towards us, and I started to sing behind the camera. And in the middle of singing, "Hey, hey, Cheyenne, and Cheyenne," I heard, "Take me to the river, hey, hey." And I got excited. I stopped singing and I started talking to the audience. And I said, they gave me this song. So I sang it in both languages, or I mixed them in the song. And when I finished, I gave grace and honor to the water and to the land and to the trees. There was a black hawk sitting across the river watching me from a cottonwood tree, and I was so proud to be there with that medicine, the water, the sacred water, the earth, the air, the fire, because I smudge every time I do anything. So the fire is always present with me. And I was just
Amen.
so honored.
Gio says I'm feeling it. Hi, Gio. Welcome.
Hi, Gio.
I'm
Thank
feeling it
you.
too. Yes. Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Anthony.
welcome.
Walking Crow, right? That is your spirit name, Walking Crow.
Walking Crow.
Did you give that to yourself or did someone give that to you?
We don't give ourselves names. No, I have a teacher named Emma Molina Inriquez. She looks a lot like you with her beautiful woman, silver locks, and we would walk forever and we would talk, and she nurtured me into my medicine until I had a moment, and I said, nobody's calling me back. Nobody's texting me. Nobody's emailing me. Nobody's calling me back. My teachers and elders, they stopped, and she says, I have to tell you something. She said, you may not like this. She said, we are no longer your, it was powerful. She says, we are no longer your teachers. You are our teacher.
Mm.
And I had I had stepped through the veil. I had already she had ceremony where I stepped through the veil and she gave me the name Walking Crow.
Gorgeous.
And just last week I was talking with grandmother Susan Stanton from Nauvoo, Illinois. She's one of the 13 grandmothers here on Turtle Island. And we were talking about being a hollow bone, that I was a hollow bone. I said, Susan, do you know that birds to fly have to have hollow bones so they can do what they do? I said, and I just happened to be Walking Crow. It was like the ancients and the elders and the teachers and the spirits knew exactly what they were doing with me. I had no say in it. I just said, okay, and yes, after a lifetime of no's.
Amen.
Amen. Oh shit.
Good to wake up.
Right?
Good to wake up. Yes.
And
yes.
I went in my life, I went from being HOLE, right? I had a gaping hole in me, to WHOLE. So I am whole after a lifetime of being whole, of empty. And I say yes after a lifetime of no's. And I nurture the nature and who and what I am and who and what you are. Oh. And I'm honored to do that and be that.
And you are a blessing, and I'm grateful to have magnetized you.
When you say something like that, I feel every sound of what that feels like. That travels through my body and my soul. It doesn't go
Awesome.
here. It goes here because this is where I HEAR, not HERE.
That's right. All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Please put your contact information in the chat.
I will.
And I will love to see you again here. Come back.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. Blessings.
Blessings to you. How do I
Change to zero.
switch off that?
Remove. Wowza. That was pretty awesome. Wowza. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anthony. It's such a pleasure and a gift to have you here with us. So rich. So we got about 20 something minutes left. And if you're just tuning in, I'm going to pop into the chat once again. Tomorrow evening, I mentioned this in my promos all week that I was going to be announcing something today. And what that is starting tomorrow evening, 2 Wednesdays out of the month, I will be offering something called Wednesday Evening Wisdom Exchange. The fourth Wednesday of the month, which is tomorrow, will be open to everyone. And the second Tuesday of the month will be will be a women's empowerment Wednesday evening wisdom exchange, and that will be for anyone feminine identified regardless of gender. So this is going to be a sacred council wisdom circle in which we're going to be doing this Quaker style. We're going to be sitting in circle together in a Zoom room with a private link, all microphones open, and we're going to be creating a field of sacred presence and allowing ourselves to be vessels without ego, without personality, minimal personality, to whichever vessel wisdom for the expansion of the consciousness for the collective is going to come through. If anybody feels to add on to it, they can do so and say it was spoken, it was said, if they feel to address it, and refer to it without referring to the vessel through which it came. And then we will return to the silence and we will wait for more wisdom to come through. If people want to, I'm also experimenting with the idea of using this fertile field as a creation session. And so if you want to simultaneously quietly be working on a project of your own, I have discovered that there is great value in being in a shared field of intention to opening up to wisdom and creativity and inspiration. That may or may not work. It may be a distraction, but something tells me it's just a fertile field from which to accomplish and move forward on something, a project that is near and dear to your heart. So we're going to start that tomorrow night. In the chat, I placed, did I do it yet, or I didn't do it yet? I'll do it. I think I did do it, but I'll do it again. Links to all my payment platforms, and you can choose any one of them. The suggested love offering is $33. If you are inspired to offer more, that would be most welcome. If that is beyond your means, whatever you can offer will be graciously received. And I will send you the link to tomorrow evening, same time as tonight, from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific time, as long as you get it to me by 2 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, so that I have ample time to make sure that everybody that contributed gets the link, and we'll see how that goes. This is all a big experiment, and as I said earlier, I'm not waiting for perfection. I'm just feeling called to start sharing more love and light in the world, to support people to awaken from the nightmare of mortal reality. I have one of my groups. If you look in the description for this this live stream, it lists a lot of different groups that I have that you are welcome to join. One is the Universal Temple of Expanding Consciousness. Another one is Waking Up from the Hypnosis of Mortal Reality. Another one is Rename the Planet, Planet Peace, because I believe that if we just plant the seed of that thought, even if people think that it is naive or silly or never going to happen, people start thinking that every step they're walking, they're treading upon planet peace, and so every step becomes a prayer, and we stop treating our mother like dirt and start treating her as the sacred living environment that makes it possible for us to be here. And so I have groups you can join. I have my music on Spotify, my ministry. It's also on other platforms, but the link is to Spotify if you want a different platform. Pinned to the top of my Facebook page is a link that has several different music platforms that you can find my music on. And so we got about 18 minutes left. Is there anybody else that would like to come on and chat for a little bit? Or else I can just keep talking. When Anthony was on, he reminded me of a rainbow campfire circle song called, thank you for the time check, Stu, 16 minutes, The Way of the Heart. And it goes like this: let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. You can sing with me, I can't hear you. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Love upon love upon love, all hearts beating as one. Life upon life upon life, all disappear into you. So let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Love upon love upon love, all hearts beating as one. Light upon light upon light, all disappear into you. So let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. Let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart, let the way of the heart shine through. We are so blessed. We are so blessed beyond measure to exist. We are so blessed to get to breathe and see and smell and taste and touch and think and discuss and love each other and create things and build things with our hands and give comfort. There's so much to appreciate. Why waste our time on fear and hate? Our stay here, friends, is a fleeting gift before the sands of time must shift. With peace on our minds and love in our hearts, we enter heaven. We enter heaven on earth. I don't know about you, but I signed up to wake up in this lifetime and to get to be here when the veil is lifted and all my brothers and sisters look around and realize the miracle, the divine play that we have been a part of, that we have been in heaven all along with this matrixy overlay. Nadine Naya New Light is saying, I'm frozen. I am not experiencing myself as Charlotte, bless you. Take your call. Namaste. Thank you for being here. See you next time. So I don't know. I'm not experiencing myself as frozen. If you are, well, what can I do? I can just ask to be unfrozen. I ask to be unfrozen and flowing and allowing this amazing thing that we call life to keep moving through me and to keep providing me with breath, life force, to continue to get to be here, to give thanks, to celebrate, and hopefully to inspire. Deep breath and inhale and exhale with sound. So good to be in a body. So good to get to breathe. So good to get to make sound. Sacred noise. Sacred noise. Let me look at my little list here and see if there's anything. So the no theme that we started with today, because I didn't want to create one, this is the week 4 of this pilot project experiment. The first 3 weeks I pre-selected a theme. This time I decided to simply trust the unknown, and I think we've been doing pretty good. I am open and available to feedback, whether you want to post it in the comments, whether you want to reach out to me privately, whether you want to reach out to me privately for one-on-one coaching, whether you want to reach out to me to invite me to come sing at your spiritual center or your corporate event or lead any kind of a workshop, I have two offerings right now. One I call Public Therapy Theater, the other one I call the Shamanic Expression Jam. I'm also available for keynote concerts, house concerts, and I'm on God's magic carpet ride, and I am surrendered to allowing it to take me wherever it wants to take me, and transcending all shyness, all self-consciousness, all doubt. Who am I to, all the stuff that gets in the way, because each and every one of us is a clearly intended vessel meant to reach certain ears. And so I encourage you and I invite you, and I be here as a demonstration of transcending your own egoic shyness, which is another acronym for TES, transcending egoic shyness. I just made that one up. To allow yourself to be used. You didn't come here to hide. You came here. You have a face to be seen and a voice to be heard and a mind to express your consciousness through your mouth, through your heart. Let your mind come through your heart and use your mouth as the delivery mechanism, or writing or typing or visually, however you do it. But whatever your creative expression. Gio, any chance you or others here will be going or performing at the upcoming Bhakti Fest in September? I am considering going. I am not performing there. If someone else that is on this call, I would love to know about it. Yeah, that is happening September 15th to 17th in Joshua Tree. If you have a link to that, feel free to pop it into the chat. Part of transcending self-consciousness and shyness is understanding who you work for and giving up any concerns about who loves you, likes you, approves of you on the human level, and just doing what you do because something is moving you and inspiring you to do it. Gio, you should do a pop-up event, maybe at the festival. 7 minutes. Thank you, Stu. I actually am pretty close to some of the event organizer people, and I could run that idea by. My experience in the past was that, it feels like we've talked about this, Gio, like I'm like an undercover agent for the Lord. And even though I have messages that fit in the hippie yogic reality, my style is a little bit more mainstream. And so ironically, when I have gone to, it's interesting that I'm even considering going, but something is sort of calling me there this time. I don't know why. But my experience in the past has felt like I don't fit in there, which has been rather interesting, that my medicine is not what their ears are tuned to, and I'm willing for that to be a story and to be welcomed there. I have not had that experience in the past. So anyway, what else? Anybody want to come on here for a couple minutes? We got like 5 minutes left, I think, or so. So I've told you about tomorrow's WE Wednesday evening wisdom exchange. Please copy and paste those pay application links somewhere, so that if you wish to join, you have access to them. I will be putting up a promotional post about it on my page later, still this evening. And other than that, I will be back here next Tuesday for episode 5, Goddess willing, and intend to keep doing this. You know, I've started things in the past. I think I spoke about this the first week, and after a couple of months, I sort of got discouraged and burnt out, because at those times I was really looking at the numbers as an indication of whether I, was being successful or not. I've since shifted how I'm looking at it, and for me, doing this is actually quite life-giving and affirming, and it's more about allowing myself to be used, and whoever is supposed to hear is going to hear, and I don't have to like manage the numbers or anything like that. Hi, Robin. Thank you. You are a beautiful soul. Takes one to recognize one. Thank you so much. And so yeah, it's obviously I love the play. I love words. I believe we cast spells and pass sentences, and I consider myself a word alchemist, and I love the play on words of Tuesdays with Tess. It's something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. The time that I've chosen, 5 to 7 p.m., correlates with my birthday, May 27th, which is 527. And I get a thrill every time I see that number on the clock, which usually happens twice a day. That's kind of when people see 1111. It's like my way of knowing that I'm in alignment, or seeing it on a license plate or something. And I have a very clear memory of my mother saying throughout my life, although I was born on a Friday, that in the Jewish faith, that she would say Tuesday is a mazel dike tug, which means a lucky day. Mazel, like mazel tov, is good luck. So and tug in Yiddish or German is a day. So Tuesdays are a lucky day. So put it all together. Tuesdays with Tess, 5 to 7 p.m. is a lucky open portal time to me. Cleo, 5 to 7. I don't know what Cleo means. I don't know what that means. I'd like to know what that means. And let's see where we're at with our time. It is 6:58 p.m. I have a personal jingle, the test jingle, which I suppose would be a nice way to leave you. And thank you, first of all, so much for being here with me this evening. It means so much to me to have beings to engage with, and to hear you and see you and appreciate you and receive you. Film from Vardes. You'll have to tell me more. With a jingle on your tongue and a tingle in your heart, you will stay forever young. You will see the world as art. You will sing with every rainbow. You will wish upon each star. You will let yourself imagine, and this gift will take you far. God, Goddess, bless each and every one of you. Thank you for loving yourselves. Thank you for honoring yourselves. Thank you for being gentle with yourselves as you learn how to love yourself and appreciate yourself more and more and more. And the more you do, the more you can support others in loving and appreciating themselves as well. So I thank you again for being here. It is now 7 p.m. I bid you a namaste, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night for We or next Tuesday back here for the next episode of Voices of the Global Awakening, Tuesdays with Tess. Aloha.